Yes, the owner of the Scruffiest Comic Studio is correct. Or even it's absolutely pretty yes, I guess. It was actually for non-sexual content and about of this comic studio, and especially is not being inappropriate as well, because it says around here in the comments like here. And before we're gonna be start of this video, that we're asking you for to do this as well, that thanks to the developer, or not the developer from this comic studio, the developer of this actual comic studio was made by Syrupy, and then this comic studio was actually to do this, that as you can see for the Scruffiest is owned by Dev Sisters as well, but I'm not sure. This is a shout out to Crab Lord, or the Crab Lord Quilkai, and it was absolutely for him or her for the adepts and OCs and stuff. Because it's actually for something as absolutely for a new rule that does not able to use for the OCs. But it was a yes, of course. Because that is as absolutely to do this, that something is absolutely getting mad by saying the word S means strippers, which is actually it's not a common thing. Because it's only for one thing, that the reason that he says that should not going to be for something he says for one purpose thing. It was only for one conclusion like those things like ever before. We can't start to make a flip book, and before we're gonna be start of this video, so many more of those cookies like itself, but not some sort of a big things like those things. It was just like for some sort of a lounge pants, nothing like for short skirts. I like this thing as well, instead of that some sort of saying the S words as such a swim as well. Not anything as well for some sort of a big strip guy or the girl like this one. It was actually some sort of not a joke as well for some sort of one thing, that her name is Lua Cookie, and it wasn't gonna be pretty sure that he holds hands, and because he was wearing a large dress. Of course, that wasn't actually for some sort of a real princess. It was some sort of a Chinese princess overall. So we got for a loaded tea. I'm probably very sure this is not going to be for such as a guess. And because that I'm using for a chamomile tea or the chamomile tea, we possibly added for just right, I guess. We actually for some sort of for made by shock as well. So I'm probably to do this, and what I'm actually trying to say, we are not able to use any drafts, but I'm gonna be showing you how for some sort of a comments like really pretty to do this, what I'm saying. Last time we got for many of those too many comments around here. If I scroll down, it's not even going to keep on working for like those things. So even for right over here, there's the Ginger Brave Limited Company who was actually subscribed to my channel. And then even for the latest of those things, the latest comments around here from those many days ago isn't going to be just like this. And it was probably that aren't able to be responded as anyways as well. So as you'll be seeing for around here, we're gonna be clicking around of this video as well. And that is exactly how for one reply. I reply for this very first time. And looks like this isn't going to be doing for just a little bit thinking of it for just I just thinking about something very worse because I was very confused. Because I just completely lost my mind as well. So as you can see here, this is not absolutely there is no strippers like too much, of course, because that was definitely lost my mind. I was wrong about this comic studio, and because that the developer of this comic studio or some sort of a Scruffiest comic studio as well was actually Orlando Forest. That he completely responded me as we're absolutely making for this thing is pretty right. So as I says, oh my gosh, there's another part for around here. The first part was actually for the latest, and except for another part was actually being released lately that I just did something wrong about for some sort of schedules of my video content that I just completely scheduled so wrong that I just actually did here. Then unfortunately that I just completely failed the mission like I just said to do this. And he said, okay, but first, where was the inappropriate content? I still can't find it. Because something is absolutely removed for one thing. Pastry is in fact not in the studio, not because I have anything against her. I just don't have any content with her because her original storyline is so good that I have lost the plot. So there it is again. For mentions for one thing. But now it's absolutely for one thing that I just actually did something. I got an accident or something, because there it is again that he said, mentions of the inappropriate comments, or the inappropriate comments unlike this, the content I just probably to do this, I say, was actually still going some sort of a mentions of an inappropriate content. I'm still not seeing it. Do you mean characters are inherently thicker than others? Because that's not inappropriate as well. That is just body rep. Very inappropriate, like, sir, that character is completely modest. Did you think he was not wearing pants? Because those are launch pants. And which means that is completely real. I don't have any launch pants or something because I just actually feels like I'm not gonna be in an accident, of course. You want a mildly inappropriate character? No, I got some, but it's definitely not the ones that you're pointing about, and they are still covered. I'm very mindful of what I post on Comic Studio. As an adult, I find it irresponsible or something. It was nothing that I just doing this, that I find it irresponsible to share lewd content with minors, so I do not. This swimsuit's not a swimsuit. If you look at the colors, her arms and legs are fully covered. She's an acrobat in the circus, author as well, because nothing is unlike Dumbo's circus as well, or some sort of a steam circus, such as Catch Me Who Can, and about for this first speeding steam locomotive, as I'm not going to be saying for about to talk about this. Perfectly responsible. Also, I don't have any strippers yet, yes. But I have no idea where you got strippers from. The user submitted only sprites that I have accepted manually for project progression. Did you ask this? Did you ask if this was allowed? It was probably yes, because there is nothing wrong with his studio or my studio as well. Thank you for the entertainment and looking around for my studio as well. If you Even if you didn't seem to understand the majority of it, I recognize my content recognize that my content is for a very specific type of audience. I apologize, that is not your cup of tea. And that is the entire of the respond of this comment, like I guess. Because that I just say, yes, I know, because I think this comic studio that I reviewed is inappropriate as well. Because I was wrong about this as well, from all ages. So, and I suggest this is suitable for rated ages of 16 years and up from the description, so the users were allowed to use this comic creator and follow the rules, and I realized that you're right about those things as well. So, which means that I just completely to give a like, and I might actually editing of those things as well. That anyways, let's get back to Comic Studio like I just made around here. Because since that I just shown this, that I added Woody the Killboy and Buzz Lightyear, such as Buzz Lightyear and Woody the Cowboy as well. So, the last time that I just updated right now for this thing as well. Because since I just reviewed, and I just made them into some sort of like those lounge things like anything as well. So because of those, not those things, this is a lounge like this thing is, or some sort of a royalties like those things. It wasn't like a princess or something. It was not some sort of an Europe or somewhere as well. So I cannot able to be added Mrs. Keen from all over the classroom as well, and especially from Mrs. Pomegranate Cookie, around for little some sort of Princess Cookie, and especially there must be Twilight ever since. And we got some sort of added from those characters, added 2 characters from. I don't really think this is absolutely to do this as well. I added 2 characters from Total Drama Island. The recently that I just added Owen, that I just previously spawned for Cody, and what is recently that we almost forgot? There is Ezekiel from right behind the Lamborghini Aventador, who was actually for a vampire cookie. So, nothing it really is that I just never be able to be changed. Like for something is absolutely going on for around here. And the last thing we just actually for added for this thing, so really is for some sort of lounge like those things. Nothing lounges going on as well. So we had Rogue Ford Cookie is gonna be in the background or something. So is it gonna be Massacre like those one really thing as well? Where's some sort of a bad screens as well? So I can see that Rogue Fort Cookie was actually World Fourth Cookie as well, as I'm probably sure that I just recently added for Owen as well. And what about for some sort of like those thing, like anything about here? I'm pretty started to get a little bit lost in my mind after the response. Of course, that could be the end of this thing as well. And because of the OC arts as well, were pretty terrible, like those things, but I just don't want like anything to do this as well. So, I'm pretty, that should be the end of this video as well, after the response. So, I thankfully, that should be it as well. That we never think that we just completely try to take a round of do this as well. So, before we're gonna be end of this video, we got a loads of like those things that they just let me move into another comic studio, so if nothing there is absolutely for many more drafts as well. So this is actually for the actual drafts as well, and I loaded up with some Buick cars around here since that day, from 3 days ago, or some sort of many days ago, like anyways as well. From itself for 1 week ago, for probably like this thing as well, for almost 10 days ago. As I load up for the second one, we just added for some sort of couches and motor coaches in America, Ford Fusion and the Ford GTX1 beneath the Cowboy as well, and especially for some sort of for the styled oyster cookie as well. And the very first that I just updated last time in July 30, 2024, I'm not going to get rid of this thing as anyways. So, we got a Choco Bar cookie. It was absolutely closer to Dale Earnhardt Jr. But unfortunately, the background sprites are just almost missing like anyways. We got for some sort of, for one thing, I'm not sure that I probably didn't remember about this name like anyways. And we just know about to say it was not going to do this. There is a fairy bread cookie right over here, right next to Applejack. There is Scooby and Shaggy right behind the Ford Ecoline, which means it was a van over here for the E250 or the 150 as well. And then we got an image, the background image from the South Park. There must be a one person like itself for what over here is on the bottom for like itself. There's a springtime vignette cookie that doesn't even making sense for driving his or just driven the Dodge Challenger SRT8, there is an MCI J4500 near from a Japanese school, and in some sort of for a hometown from Shining Glitter Cookie, we added for Audi Q7 and Buick Enclave. In the Piggy world, or the Piggy Island like itself, to do this, we got a mystery machine that we just eventually added for some sort of 2 Rockstar cookies as well, that I just owe it by itself for one time to do so, that I just added strawberry stick cookie and meat, or like those things, or some sort of a mint wafer cookie. So that is all that we just probably to do so, and I'm gonna be linking the description down below to do this. So by the way, the video is probably over for gonna be 15 minutes like anyways as well. So thanks for watching, for all your support, and I'm gonna be signing off that I just said that swear word like anyways as well. I'll talk to you mini lads again later in next 2 days that I'll upload another video as probably to do so, and eventually that's somebody who's actually gonna be paying for something like bills like anything as well. So until later or next time, by the way, and I'll signing off like just I tried to do so. I'll talk to you comic studio users all later, by the way.